So you want to spend your crypto. You want to earn it, store it, withdraw it, do everything with crypto. Whether you're looking for decentralization, freedom, privacy, or just to evade taxes, it's the way to go. But when you actually go and try to spend it or use it in an average day-to-day interaction, well, you can't just go up to the cashier and say, "Hey, do you guys accept Bitcoin?" Mind you, this is just a coin that has a Bitcoin logo, but most places are going to tell you, A, I've never heard of that, or B, just simply, no, we do not. So how do you actually get crypto? How do you spend it? How is this possible? Where is this done? What are some of the applications you might need to know about? We're going to be diving into all of that today after a quick word from my sponsor.
A big thank you and shout out to my sponsor Cake Wallet, which is an open source, non-custodial Bitcoin and Monero wallet that also has a built-in exchange. It's available on iOS and Android.
So you want to learn how to earn crypto, store it, trade it, withdraw it, spend it in a decentralized way, or at least just in a free way that is private and your privacy is respected and, there's no issues, right? You don't have to be necessarily trying to evade tax or do anything crazy. You just simply want financial privacy. So let's talk first about earning cryptocurrency. The first way that I have here listed is from social media. Now, a lot of you know that I am very gung-ho on crypto monetized and blockchain social media platforms. I use a stupid amount, like 40 to 50 or so platforms, and I post on there regularly. I don't expect most people to do that, so I put out a report every month sharing how much I've earned on the 10 to 12 or so top platforms, and just sharing my insights on that, etc. So you can go and check that out. I post it every month to give you an idea of how much I earned the month previous from just sharing videos, blogs, and content on social media. Now, the thing is, it's not for everyone because not everyone's a content creator, but a lot of people do, casually make a video here and there, blog, whatever, and you can get paid for that from the get-go by posting it on various crypto social platforms. So there's no reason to just leave that money. Plus, even as a user, as a viewer, as a reader, you're able to earn on a lot of these platforms just for kind of participating in the ecosystem. So it's not just for content creators. And I mean, anyone can share, an Instagram picture, but then post it on Hive or, whatever happens to be. There's ways to earn money just by sharing what you would normally post anyway, but then sharing it on different crypto monetized and blockchain social platforms. So I highly recommend looking into that. It's a win for everyone. Typically, it's also much better for censorship and moderation, monetization, privacy, so many things. So I highly recommend that. And that is probably one of the best ways to earn cryptocurrency. Now, if we're talking more about investing and earning, you can do a lot of different things: staking, liquidity providing, anything sort of in the DeFi space, decentralized finance. I've covered this in depth very recently in a video called What is DeFi? You can go back and check that out. But that's more of the investing side of things and earning passive income. Definitely highly recommend, and you should do that. But when we're talking about earning cryptocurrency, most people probably think about their job. And while you can try to convince your employer to pay you in cryptocurrency, and you can do side jobs to earn cryptocurrency, a much easier way is to use a platform/service called Bitwage. And what Bitwage does is they allow either you or your employer on either end to get set up where you can receive all or a portion of your of your income in the form of whatever cryptocurrency you'd like to choose. Whether this is simply you dollar cost averaging in, or you want to go 100% crypto, this is a very cool way to do that. And I'm sure there's other similar services, but Bitwage has been really, really good for what it's been doing. And they even went as far as to create 401k accounts in the United States where people can invest in crypto through that as well. So really, really cool what they're doing. And I highly recommend checking out if you're trying to slowly shift your life from the normal fiat life to living a decentralized crypto life. Now, there's a bunch of other ways to get cryptocurrency, right? You can earn it from airdrops. You can get it from things like faucets. There's a lot of different ways to earn cryptocurrency. These are just some of the more feasible ways that are actually going to earn you like a decent amount versus you're probably not going to get much from a faucet, and airdrops are kind of reliant on the airdrop actually happening and you doing whatever required step to receive the airdrop. So airdrops are not really a reliable way to earn income, but it's definitely a bonus. So these are kind of the main ways. Now let's talk about storing crypto, because I just made a video on why you don't store your crypto on exchanges, so we won't dive into that. But essentially, you just want to store your crypto on a self-custodial wallet that only you control. And what that means is, because a lot of people hear me say this, but then they still don't really know exactly what that means. And then they're sending me all these questions about, oh, is this wallet okay? Is this wallet okay? What is this wallet? You know, it's just too much. A wallet is generally self-custodial when you get the private keys and you get the seed phrase to be able to reset it and get it going again. And there's no kind of like restrictions where, like, for example, if you can log into your wallet with like an email and a password, and there's an option to recover your password, all this kind of stuff, it's probably not an actual self-custodial wallet, because again, the whole point of a self-custodial wallet is that you are the only one who has the control and access. If someone else can reset it somehow or whatever, it's not secure. So you want something that you control. And the safest way to take another step into the land of secure crypto is to have an offline hardware wallet. I use the Ledger Nano X, and I also have the S. But there's a bunch of other wallets out there. Trezor is really popular. I've also reviewed a couple other wallets. Most of them are good. You just want to make sure you're getting it actually from them, never by secondhand. And, practice all the other good security measures like multi-factor authentication, not, using your password in multiple places, not having any identifying characteristics in your email, avoiding KYC where possible. There should be no wallets that have KYC. And so storing crypto isn't like super important in this breakdown. It's just definitely needs to be included. That little note that you just don't want to have your crypto sitting on an exchange, or, buy it on like Wealthsimple or Robinhood, where it's a stock exchange and they're holding it for you and you can't withdraw it, but they've got it. All that kind of stuff is just not good. You want the actual cryptocurrency withdrawn, held in your own wallet. This is the safest way that you can go about it. If you're trying to truly live 100% decentralized on crypto, this is the only safe way to do it, because otherwise your access to your crypto could be cut off for whatever reason. When we're talking about trading crypto, only use decentralized exchanges and swap exchanges where possible. Obviously, you can buy crypto in centralized exchanges, just don't store it there, as I've been saying. And I do use centralized exchanges because it's how I get my money into crypto. But beyond that, I only really trade my crypto on decentralized exchanges, swap exchanges, and occasionally on a centralized exchange that has zero KYC and identifying characteristics. Because again, whether or not you're using this information to do sketchy stuff like evading tax, or you are just valuing your own financial privacy, whatever you end up doing at the end of the day is your own prerogative. I'm just giving you the kind of the tools to be able to do these kinds of things. But the main idea is really just for financial privacy. If you do anything else, then that's all on you. And I don't recommend anything in particular. None of this is financial advice. Never is. Then withdrawing crypto. If you want to be able to spend it and use it, the easiest way is there's a plethora of crypto ATMs. There's sites where you can go and locate them. I live in a pretty small town outside of the GTA, but there's still like 6 or 7 crypto ATMs in my city. So, at the end of the day, there's probably going to be a Bitcoin ATM or some kind of crypto ATM near you, unless you're living in very rural areas. So something to keep in mind. And I mean, even if you have to go a little bit further to get one and then just take out a bunch of money, that's not really an issue. You will pay a hefty fee, but it's dependent on the crypto you use. So for example, I can go to a Bitcoin ATM and they accept like 8 different cryptocurrencies, and one of them is Dash, and it has the lowest fees, and transaction fees and et cetera are the lowest, and it's extremely fast. So it's just much easier for me, for example, to use Dash to be able to do something like that. You can use centralized exchanges to withdraw your money via an e-transfer, but again, all of this is tracked 100%, and likely, especially if you're using KYC exchanges, all of this information is easily going to go right to the tax agency of your country or the government or whoever. It's going to be easily identifiable, and they're going to be able to get that information. So definitely keep that in mind. And then you can withdraw your crypto by simply keeping it, storing it, and then spending it on whatever you need. Because if you're attempting to live 100% on crypto, then you don't really need to be withdrawing it into cash or really withdrawing it at all. All you really need the crypto for is to spend it like it was just normal money. So when we're talking about spending cryptocurrency, Dash continues to just be above and beyond. In the US now, they've recently announced that they have over, I believe it was 155,000 physical locations and over 125 online retailers in the United States, including big chains like Domino's and Best Buy and stuff like that. They are all now accepting Dash to be able to buy whatever you're buying. So really, really great to see. We don't have that yet in Canada, but I'd love to see that continue to expand and grow. But I know a big chunk of my audience is in the US, so that's probably going to be the easiest way for you to buy things like that. And then you could just patronize the brands and retailers that actually accept Dash to show other retailers why it's so important that they start accepting crypto as well, because you need to show them with your money. You need to vote with your dollars, so to speak. You can use sites like CoinCards or BitRefill to get physical or digital gift cards to be able to pay for anything, and they don't require any information from you. Mind you, I've signed up on BitRefill, and I do give that little extra bit of information because they have a loyalty program, and you can earn free points or whatever that go to buying you crypto gift cards and such. So that's ideal, and I want to take advantage of that. And they don't really ask you for very much information anyways. No KYC, none of that stuff. So I'm not too concerned about that. But, for people who might be concerned about that, you don't have to register. It's just kind of an added bonus. Plus, it's sort of ideal in case there was an issue with your transaction. But I've actually only ever had an issue one time, and all that happened was it retried to buy it, and then it just worked. It just took a little bit longer. But other than that, I've never had any issues, and I've been using BitRefill for a very long time. And I just recently started using CoinCards so that I could get physical cards, because you can't get online digital Visa, prepaid visas, but you can with CoinCards. So I've started testing that out. Works amazingly. I look a little sketchy when I'm pulling out my prepaid Visa card to pay for things, but if you want to be 100% anonymous, private, not have your financial transactions all tracked, that's the way to go. In Canada here, we can actually spend our crypto at Bitcoin Well to be able to pay directly for our utility bills, which is quite frankly just amazing. And you can do it anonymously, which is just absolutely fantastic. In the US, I don't think that they have access to that or have a service exactly like that. Maybe they do now. But what you can do in the US is you can get Walmart gift cards, whether physical or digital. And they typically have kiosks, at least at certain locations, where you can pay bills through the Walmart kiosks. And that is kind of the way around that in the United States. I'm sure things will vary for various countries, but there's typically ways to be able to get around these things. even if you're getting someone else to pay. There's websites where you can get someone else to pay your bill and then you send them crypto. There's a lot of different alternatives and ways to figure this out. It's just making that extra bit of effort. And I would actually argue that the extra effort put into spending crypto makes it cool and interesting. When I'm spending crypto to buy things, I feel like a badass. It's way more interesting to be like, look, I'm giving you Bitcoin right now for this coffee. And it's way more fun of an experience, taking the regular transactional experience and making it interesting, I would say. But it also forces you to kind of have a paradigm shift of how you treat your personal finance. Because now if you're spending in crypto, you know that if you don't spend, it's likely going to go up in value. Whereas the traditional mindset for spending, most people have the mindset of fiat currency is inflating, thus going down in value. The best thing I can do right now is to spend this to get the full value of the dollar. And that makes sense. That's literally what it's designed to do. But when you've got, cryptocurrencies that are more scarce and they're trying to have a store of value and a very low inflation rate, typically these are going up in value. So then you don't want to spend $5 today to find out that it's worth $10, in a couple weeks from now. And you basically lost out on a 2x appreciation of your crypto to buy whatever you wanted to buy. If you time this stuff right, you buy things at the peaks and then it starts to go down. And then you're like, oh, perfect. I got the best possible value. And it trains you to have just a lot more discipline, be much more mindful of purchasing decisions. You'll time things to when it's better for you. They might be on sale as well. It really forces you to become that much more financially astute with the way that you treat your finances. And I would argue that forcing yourself to only spend in crypto is one of the most enlightening financial strategies to improving your finances, because it's just going to force you into that new paradigm where you have to put this extra effort. So you've got to stop and think about it. And you know that there's all this appreciation and value that you could be losing out on. Having those little extra blocks, even though it's technically like a drawback of crypto that it takes more effort to spend it, I would argue that in the long run, this is going to be much better for your personal finance. And I'm sure most people would look at that and say, well, that's kind of silly. That's not really an ideal thing to have more roadblocks in my spending habits. But really it is. It is much better to be able to kind of stop yourself, because most people are geared to spend. We're consumers. We suffer from sensory adaptation, all the many things I've covered in the past. Most people aren't frugal because they can't be, or they can't even see a world where it's possible for them to become more frugal. And then lastly, you can actually get crypto Visa / debit cards where either they're preloaded or you sell the crypto into whatever fiat currency and then it sits on the card. Whichever way it goes, there's a ton of these now. You've got crypto.com. You've got BitPay. I'm trying to think of some in the United States. The only one that really works here in Canada now, from my testing, is Bitvo. Obviously, crypto.com works, but I don't like the idea of having to stake crypto in order to get their card. It just seems kind of sketchy to me. So I prefer one that doesn't have any kind of like restrictions or requirements. So I would recommend looking for something like that. There's a million different providers of these kinds of cards in the States. The only thing I would say to watch for is a lot of them do require KYC. So if you're trying to be, private and anonymous and all these kinds of things, the crypto debit / Visa card doesn't really get you there. And any true decentralized, person who's actually truly living it through and through would say no to a lot of the crypto Visa cards out there. So that's definitely something to consider. I've been testing Bitvo for at least 2 to 3 years now. It's been a long time. It's been very, very reliable, very good. But I've switched to the prepaid Visa cards for just 100% anonymity, no trail of past transactions connected to my name, et cetera, for 100% privacy. Again, there's other ways to do all these things that I've talked about, but the idea is to get you sort of thinking about these core things for living off of crypto. You're earning, you're storing, the way that you trade it, the way that you withdraw it, and the way that you actually spend it. These are kind of what I would say are the core tenets of actually being able to live on crypto. When it comes down to something like rent, that's really a give and take. I mean, you can go and get your money out from a Bitcoin ATM to pay your rent, or, maybe you've got a really cool landlord and you work out a deal where you can pay them in cryptocurrency. Whatever it happens to be, there's a lot of different ways that you can set these things up. It really just comes down to how willing you are to make sacrifices and adjust and do things differently. Because again, there's always going to be a little bit of extra work into doing things with crypto versus doing them normally. But I would argue that that's a benefit. And it's going to force you to have better financial habits and just train you to be a lot better in that regard. When we're talking about spending crypto, this is kind of the last segment here. You got to consider, what crypto am I going to be spending? Because there's fees, transaction fees when you're sending it, network fees, all these different things. I recommend that you look into various cryptocurrencies that are sort of geared for the use case of digital cash. Again, I would argue that Dash, digital cash, is actually the best because it does have the lowest fees and some of the fastest transaction speeds. Other good alternatives are Bitcoin Cash or Litecoin. I would say also don't be fooled by the marketing from Doge. It costs, like 4 Doge to send 1 Doge because the transaction fees on average right now are 60 cents. So I guess it's more like, 2 to 3-ish Doge. But either way, when you've got to send more than the actual amount of the token itself to be able to send it, it's not really viable at all. And 60 cents per transaction is insane because, again, Dash is less than a cent. So why would you spend 60 times plus the amount on fees, especially if you're doing daily regular transactions with cryptocurrency? It's just not at all viable. And I've included a chart for you to go and check out, BitInfo charts, and it allows you to compare all the different gas fees of all the different coins. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can go and see for yourself what has the best transaction fees and what's the fastest. And they have some other data on there that you can compare and look at and stuff as well. So it's pretty cool. But it's definitely a great place to be able to actually check that out and compare for yourself. Because again, you don't have to use Dash. You can go look at what's the best and use what you think is the best. But that's just my recommendation. So that's everything for today. That's my kind of high level overview of withdrawing, trading, earning, storing, and spending crypto. Because that's living the decentralized life. That's living the 100% crypto life. I've already tested for months and even years now at this point how possible this is to do. I've paid my bills. I've bought in beer, groceries, anything that you can think of. I've done it. And it's definitely possible. I wanted to just prove that it was possible, know that I could do it when I need to or if I want to. I've since kind of gone back to just my normal spending with fiat so that I don't have to deal with anything tax related right now. Plus, crypto is going way up. So maybe one of the benefits of living on crypto or not is that you can switch between fiat and crypto at the best time that suits you. In a bearish market, it's more sensible to be spending your fiat dollars, and in a bullish market, it might be more beneficial to be spending your crypto. To each their own, though. Let me know what you guys think. What are you doing? How are you earning, storing, trading, withdrawing, and spending crypto? Did I miss anything? What is living the true decentralized life? How do you truly live 100% on crypto? If you've got any cool services, anything, applications, whatever, please comment them below. I would love to check them out for myself and do a review or whatever. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business, signing off. Cheers.